So what we know so far is that a lack of sleep can make the process of trying to lose weight a heck of a lot harder. But a big question that has come up is, can sleep deprivation actually affect how much weight we're able to lose? Well, that is exactly what we are going to talk about today. So let's get into it. Welcome back to the program, you beautiful people. My name is Dr. Dan. I am a pharmacist turned obesity expert. And before we dive into the effects that sleep can have on your weight loss goals, I just want to give you a quick reminder to hit the subscribe button down below so that you don't miss another episode. And of course, turn on your notifications. As well, check me out on my other channels at the official Dr. Dan. You can find my daily posting, day to day, you name it. I don't really know what we're going with there. But we're on the Tik, the Talk, the Gram, you name it, we are out there. As well, check out my website, healthevolved.co, if you would like to book a consultation with myself in order to get some additional help on your weight management journey. So if you were here for my previous video, we have already talked about how a lack of sleep can affect your mood, your appetite, and potentially lead to you overeating. And today we're going to look at a study by Wang and friends that actually looked at how much of an effect sleep can have on your overall weight loss goals. So what Wang and friends did is they got together a group of people and they gave everybody that was participating in the study a calorie deficit dietary pattern to follow. Basically, they told them to eat about 500 calories less than what they would need in order to maintain their current body weight. And they told them you're going to follow this for the 8-week period. However, with this larger group, they then split it into two groups, with one group just kind of following their normal sleep schedule, sleep pattern and such like that. And the other group, what they told them to do was to restrict their sleep. And what they meant by this is they had them restrict their sleep by about 90 minutes for 5 days a week. So 5 days out of the 7, they were told to restrict their sleep time by 90 minutes. And then on the other 2 days, they told them you can sleep as much as you want each night. And overall, what they found is that the sleep restricted group actually reduced their sleep time by about an hour for 5 days a week. And then on the other 2 days, they tried like heck to make up for that lost sleep by sleeping an extra hour on top of what they normally would on the other 2 days. And I mean, if we're really being honest here, sleep restricting by about an hour, 5 days a week, and then trying to make up for that said sleep on 2 other days of the week sounds pretty much like my normal sleep schedule. What they found is that both groups, so the non-sleep restricted group and the sleep restricted group, both lost a similar amount of weight over the 8-week period, which came out to be about 3.2 kilos or about 7 pounds on average by each individual within the study. Now, I can only imagine what you're probably saying. Wow, cool story, bro. So basically, sleep deprivation had no effect on weight loss whatsoever. And I would 100% agree with you. Both groups, sleep restricted and non-sleep restricted, lost a similar amount of weight over the 8-week period. So fortunately for us, Wang and friends went a little bit deeper. They didn't just look at the total amount of mass or weight that was lost. They kind of looked at that weight and said, okay, this person lost this amount of weight. How much of that weight was fat mass and how much of that weight was fat-free mass? And in case it wasn't clear, fat-free mass is mass of your body or weight of your body that doesn't include fat. So that's going to be things like your bones, your organs, your muscle, and all of the things that don't have fat in them. And because I know so many of you like pictures, I created this beautiful little picture right here. The control group, or the non-sleep restricted group, only lost 0.6 kilos or 1.3 pounds, whereas the sleep restricted group lost 2.7 kilos or 6 pounds of fat-free mass. So the sleep restricted group lost substantially more fat-free mass versus fat mass, whereas the control group that got plenty of sleep lost a heck of a lot more fat mass. And when people talk about wanting to lose weight, what they really mean is they want to lose fat. They want to lose that fat mass. Unfortunately, just as is the nature of losing weight, some of the mass that anybody loses when they go on a weight loss journey is going to be some amount of fat-free mass on top of the fat mass amount. And a lot of that fat-free mass that's going to be lost is going to be muscle mass. It's inevitable. No matter what you do, how hard you train, how much protein you take in, there is going to be some amount of fat-free mass or muscle mass that is going to be lost along your weight loss journey. But trying to preserve as much fat-free mass or muscle tissue as possible is one of the key goals that we want to aim for. We want to aim for primarily losing fat mass. And that's because muscle's a good thing. Muscle makes us healthier. It makes us stronger. It keeps our metabolic rate up so we burn more calories by simply existing. And if we have more muscle mass, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier for us to maintain our weight when we reach our goal weight. And so what this study showed is that individuals that are in a calorie deficit and are sleep deprived actually lost a heck of a lot more fat-free mass, which was likely muscle mass, compared to fat mass. Whereas the individuals that were well rested lost a whole heck of a lot more fat mass, the mass that we actually want to lose, compared to the fat-free mass loss. Now, one other thing that makes this result really interesting is that none of the participants in the study were performing any kind of resistance training or weightlifting, which we know helps to preserve lean muscle tissue substantially. Therefore, what this study tells us is that getting a good night's sleep can ultimately affect how much muscle fat-free mass you're able to hold on to and how much fat mass you'll be able to lose. So I don't know about you, but my mind is like all over the place, because who would have known that just sleep alone could have such a profound effect on the amount of lean muscle tissue or fat-free mass we lose compared to fat mass. A question that I am sure is going to come up is there going to be a similar type of result seen if you happen to be on a medication like Ozempic or Mounjaro while you're maybe in a sleep-deprived state or not in a sleep-deprived state? And I can't say for certain as there would be a similar result or what exactly would occur with those medications, but based on their mechanism of action and how they don't have really any effect in terms of preserving muscle tissue, they are just helping you to reduce how many calories you're eating and such. If you are sleep deprived and you're in a calorie deficit while on these medications, we're probably going to see similar types of results, and those results might be more exacerbated depending on how much weight you lose or how long you're in a calorie deficit for. So if you already didn't have a reason to make sure you get a good night's sleep, hopefully now you do. Sleep is so vitally important, not just for managing our weight, but also our general health and well-being. And now we have a nice little study that shows, well, sleep can also have an effect on the type of weight that you're losing. So I always hate the number on the scale because sure, it went down, but how much of it was muscle mass and how much of it was actual fat mass, the amount we actually want to lose. As you can see, sleep definitely has an effect on that. So make sure you are getting a good night's sleep so that you can maximize the amount of fat mass that you are ultimately losing. That is all for today, you beautiful people. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Check me out on my other channels at The Official Dr. Dan, and check out my website, healthevolve.co. As well, be sure to go back and check my other video out where we talked about sleep deprivation and the effects on our mood, our appetite, and all of those wonderful things. And of course, do not forget that small tweaks lead to massive peaks.